What's up, YouTube? Moves here. Here is my opening slash streaming segment where I talk about the films coming out this week, whether it be in theaters, streaming, etc. Alright, here are the major wide releases. First up, we got Saw X. Now, this is set between the events of Saw 1 and 2, where you got John Kramer, who is sick and desperate, travels to Mexico for risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle to cure his cancer, only to discover that the entire operation is a scam. And and of course, he returns to his work and turns the table on the con artists here. I really love the Saw films. I love the torture that and the gore that happens in Tobin Bell. Seeing him come back as Jigsaw is perfect right there. I can now wait to see where they're gonna take this new one to. It looks really awesome. So I'm hopefully I end up enjoying it. But we'll see. I've been hearing some early reactions saying that this is actually the best Saw movie in a while, so that piques my interest there too. So I'm all for this. I cannot wait to see this when it premieres. All right. Also out, we got The Creator, which is directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla and Rogue One, and stars John David Washington, Gemma Chan, Ken Watanabe, and Alice Janney, taking place in a near future impacted by a war between the human race and the forces of AI. The film's plot follows an ex Special Forces agent who is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator, who has developed a mysterious weapon with the power to end the war and destroying mankind itself. And the previews for this have looked terrific. Now, I like the sci-fi elements. I've been hearing some great things about this. You got John David Washington, who I think is always great. It looks really like the visuals look stunning, so I cannot wait to see this. All right, also out we got Paw Patrol: The Maya Movie, which features a voice talent that includes the likes of McKenna Grace, Taraji B. Henson, Marsai Martin, North and St. West, James Marsden, Kim Kardashian, and many others. The film, the film, the Paw Patrol pups who are given superpowers when a magical meteor crash lands in Adventure City, must stop the supervillains when Mayor Humdinger escapes from prison and teams up with Victoria Vance to steal the pups and crystals before they can. And let's be fair, I'm not really much of a Paw Patrol guy at all. But I actually quite enjoyed the first film. I thought it was pretty cute and everything. And the new one actually looks pretty fun. I mean, definitely getting a bit of like an Incredibles vibe, but with puppies. Uh, looks pretty cute, charming. I like the voice talents. I mean, hey, this is maybe it is crazy to believe this is probably Kim Kardashian's highest rating film right now. So there's that. But which, by the way, she's not so bad in the new American Horror Story Delicate. By the way, I mean, I'm not a Kardashian guy at all, but I quite really enjoy her part in there. I mean, she's pretty much playing herself. So yeah. But anyway, I mean, cool week for her, by the way. So anyway, all right. Now coming to streaming, we got Flora and Son coming to Apple TV Plus. Flora is a single mother living in Dublin, and is having trouble with her estranged son Max, a rebellious teenage petty thief. Encouraged by a god owl to find Max a hobby, Flora rescues an old guitar from a skip, and with the help of LA-based online guitar teacher discovers one person's rubbish can be another person's salvation. And this also stars Bono's daughter, Eve Hawson. You got Josie Gordon-Levitt in this. This looks terrific. I mean, it's directed by John Carney, who's directed some really terrific music films before. He did once. He did that really nice little Mark Ruffalo movie that had Mark Ruffalo, CeeLo Green, uh, Levine in it, called Begin Again. But maybe the best movie he put out in the last number of years has got to be Sing Street, which, if you guys never seen Sing Street, maybe once I see this movie, I might actually do my reviews for his films, by the way, because he's a really underrated, appreciated filmmaker. So I'm definitely looking forward to check this one out. It looks really fantastic. So hopefully I end up enjoying it, but we'll see. All right. On Netflix, which I'm actually going to do my review for this when I get a chance to, we got Wes Anderson's The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which is based on a story on like short stories by Roald Dahl. Of course, the writer behind the likes of The Chocolate Factory, Matilda, which all got turned into adaptations, obviously. Now, in it, a rich man learns about a guru who can see without using his eyes, and then sets out to master the skills in order to cheat at gambling. It stars the likes of Ben Cumberbatch, who plays a Tyro, Ray Fiennes, Dev Patel, Ben Kingsley, Rupert Friend, and Richard Oadi. And a bit of a spoiler for my review, it's not so bad. I mean, it's not like Wes Anderson's best work, nothing like that. Far better than Asteroid City, that is. But nowhere near as good as, let's say, the Royal Tenenbaums, or let's say, Steve Zissou, or Moonrise Kingdom, or anything like that. But it's actually a really decent, charming film. So it definitely feels more like Grand Budapest Hotel at times. So I'm not saying that because Ray Fiennes is in it, by the way, but really decent flick if you guys haven't seen that. All right. Also on Netflix, we got something called Love is in the Air, which stars Australian music artist Delta Goodrem, who leads a fiercely independent pilot of fighting to keep her family business afloat. When she starts to fall for the men sent on by corporate to ground her operate forever. I saw the preview for this. I'm sorry, this looks terrible. I mean, this really looks like those like terrible looking Hallmark films that probably Hallmark passed out, so Netflix picked it up. But yeah, this just does not look all that great. I don't mind rom coms, but and sometimes Netflix rom coms could be a hit and miss. Like not mo- I'm actually doing my review for it, but a couple of weeks ago I just checked out Love at First Sight, which was pretty decent. Uh, but yeah, not lots of Netflix's rom coms could be a hit and miss. This could easily be one of them, but we'll see. All right. Now on Paramount Plus and Showtime this week, we got Heist 88. Inspired by true events, Heist 88 is an story centered on Jeremy Horn, played by Courtney B. Vance, a criminal mastermind with an intense ability to convince anyone to do just about anything, who decides to put off one last job before going to prison. He recruits four young bank employees to steal close to $80 million in a daring and brazen assault on the U.S. banking system. You also got the likes of Keith David, who's always great, and Keisha Sharp, who was on that Fox reboot of Lethal Weapon. And I always love a good heist film, and this looks pretty interesting. Courtney B. Vance, and it's just actually a reunion of sorts because him and Keisha Sharp was also on People versus O.J. Simpson a couple years ago too. So really nice to see them reunite for this. Angela Bassett, who is actually married to Courtney B. Vance, is a producer on this. So I think this could be an interesting story here. All right. We also got a movie coming out called The Blind. Now this is pretty much about Duck Dynasty matriarch Phil Robertson. And long before Phil Robertson was a reality TV star, he fell in love, started a family, and began aspiring out of control. The blind shares never before seen reveal moments in Phil's life as he seeks to conquer the shame of his past, ultimately finding redemption in an unlikely place. I admit this does not look so good. I mean, I'm not really a Duck Dynasty guy. But yeah, this doesn't really all look that great. I mean, it looks like another one of those like Christian based movies. Looks pretty boring here. So yeah, it's probably not gonna be all that great. All right. Now we got a couple of stuff coming to VOD. We got something called The Tower, which is a foreign film. Where like the bone chilling thriller that brings a whole new meaning to being scared of the dark inhabitants of the tower block. wake up one morning, she find a black veil shrouding at all the windows doors, and yeah, this does not look all that great. It looks pretty, doesn't look all that scary. It looks pretty boring, so not really all that interested. We also got Sniper Gret, which here's what it's about. When an international terrorist cult threatens global political stability and kidnaps a fellow agent, a sniper, Brendan Becker, and the newly formed Global Response and Intelligence Team, or GRIT, led by Colonel Armstone, must travel across the world to Malta, infiltrate the cult, and take out its leader to free Lady Death and stop the global threat. Now, this does feature like Dennis Haysbert, and this is actually another installment of the sniper films that you know that first started all the way back in like early 1990s with Tom Berenger. Which, if you guys haven't seen the original Sniper, really good flick by the way. But they've been doing like sequels, like home to video sequels that has not really worked out here. So yeah, I'm not all that interested in it. I mean, what is that Haysbert doing in this is beyond me. But yeah, it looks pretty terrible to be honest. Yeah. All right. We also got a couple of documentaries out. We got the Job of Songs in in Dillon, an isolated village teetering on the western edge of Ireland. A community of musicians seek joy and connection, true music as they face modernizing world. Sounds like an interesting documentary to check out, so it'll be cool. We also got the Carlos Santana documentary called Carlos. The lively and intimately crafted documentary Carlos immerses us in rock icon Carlos Santana's life, the music tragedy, and this is also guided by Santana in his own words here. And I've always liked Carlos Santana, and this looks really like an interesting documentary that will really focus on a lot of his life and all. And looks like it'd be an interesting documentary to check out. All right. Um, we also got. I forgot to put this down. Uh, we also got like a A24's re-release of Stop Making Sense, which was actually directed by Jonathan Demme, who, of course, will go on to direct Silence of the Lambs, Philadelphia, and all. This is actually a re-release that got released all the way back in 1984, and where it's pretty much like it is, of course, a concept film where like Jonathan Demme captures like forensic RNG and RC grew of talking heads in the concept movie shot by like and by the Hollywood Pensies there in 1983, and the band's frontman David Bryan first appears at like on an empty stage on with only like a guitar here, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this one's gonna it's pretty much a whole re-release, so it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see how you know it's probably the same film and all, but it's gonna be interesting to see this one on the big screen, and of course A24 is being the one releasing this, who is always great. So it's gonna be interesting to see. All right. Now we also got a couple of horror films out this week because hey, it is almost a spooky mama season. Now first up, we got a horror film called Deliver Us. According to an ancient prophecy, a woman will give birth to identical twin boys. One will be the Messiah, the other the Antichrist. When a Russian nun, Sister Eula, claims you have immaculately conceived twins, the Vatican sends a team of priests to investigate. The priests are joined by um, il- infiltrates of a secret society with orders to abort both children. However, an American Jesla discovers their plans and helps her escape. And this looks terrible. I mean, it looks pretty boring. Does not look all that scary at all. So, yeah, not all that interested. One I'm actually really intrigued by. It's called The Jester. Amalia violent being known as Jester terrorizes the inhabitants of a small town on Halloween night, including two estranged sisters who must come together to find a way to defeat the evil entity. This looks really cool. I mean, this is of course from the same producers of the Blair Witch Project, so that piques my interest too. The killer looks interesting. I mean, could be a new Art the Clown, maybe. Because I am getting a bit of like a mix of Art the Clown mixed with the Grabber from Black Phone. Definitely getting a bit of those vibes. So could be intriguing to check out here. All right. Now, also, we got a movie called On Fire, which is directed by Pierre Facinelli, who you might know as Dr. Cullen from the Twilight franchise. The cast also includes Fiona Dorff, who's also returning for Chucky season 3, which I can't wait for. Asher Angel, who played Billy Bassett in Shazam, and horror icon Lance Henriksen, who's always great. He was of course in the Alien movie. Like Lance Henriksen, every time he pops up, he always crushes it. Now here's the interesting synopsis here. A man finds his world suddenly torn apart as devastating wildfires rip through the surrounding countryside. With perilous moments ticking away, he flees with his son and pregnant wife to survive a raging force of nature. And this looks like it'd be really intriguing. Peter Facinelli is always terrific. Come on, I always like Fiona Dorff. Just her popping up and anything is always a given. I mean, I just love her as Nick on the Chucky films, but she's been in some other cool stuff too. So hopefully this could be interesting to see. So we shall see. All right. We also got a movie called 57 Seconds, directed by Tales of the Hood on 1 and 2 and Sprung director Rusty Kunda. It stars Josh Hutcherson, Morgan Freeman, Greg German, and Levy Simone. Which, hey, I cannot wait to see Five Nights at Freddy, which tickets should be on sale soon, by the way. Um, anyway, here's what it's about. By blogger Franklin Frosty tries an attack against Anton Barrow, a visionary tech guru. He has been given a chance to interview. He finds a ring that Barrow dropped and discovers that it gives it a wearer the ability to travel 57 seconds in the past. With with Burrell's help, Franklin decides to use it to take revenge against the pharmaceutical company that was responsible for his sister's death. And this, I like Josh Hudson. You got Morgan Freeman, who's always great. This looks terrible. I mean, I am getting a bit of like an remember that Justin Timberlake Amanda Seyfried movie that came out a couple years ago, In Time. Definitely getting a bit of that vibe here. But that aside, just doesn't all look that great. I mean, it looks completely terrible. Looks generic. I mean, yeah, it does not look all that interesting to check out, or to say the least. So yeah. All right. Also, at this week, we got the movie called Muzzle, directed by John Stelberg, who directed the Adrian Brody film High School and the film Crypto with Kurt Russell in it. Stars Aaron Eckhart, Stephen Lang, Nick Cassavetes, Diego Tinoco, who was in On My Block, an LA police officer and his canine partner try to uncover a vast conspiracy that has chokehold on the city. And he also pretty much teams up with like a canine after his dog got shot. I mean, from the trail, by the way, when I saw that, like his dog died, I'm like, okay, this is just gonna be a John Wick ripoff. But not really. He ends up, pretty much teaming up with like a new canine. I mean, it feels more like, let's say, John Wick meets that Jim Belushi movie, Canine, just without the much of the humor in it. It, to be honest, does not look all that great. Looks pretty generic. Looks terrible. Does not. I mean, Aaron Eckhart, what is he doing in these type of home truth video based films? Hey, need the money, I guess. But yeah, this does not look all that great. So yeah. All right. We also got a movie called The Kill Room, which stars Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman reuniting for the first time since Pulp Fiction. We also got Joe Manganiello, Maya Hawke, Debbie Mazur, Liv Morgan, And here's what it's about: the art world meets the underworld when a money laundering scheme accidentally turns a hitman into an overnight event guard sensation. And to be honest, this does not look all that great. I mean, you got some good cast members, like obviously you got Sam Jackson and Uma Thurman. The previews didn't really do much for me. I mean, Liv Morgan in this, I mean, she was okay in Chucky, but let's be for all that, she was just playing herself. I don't know if she's really gonna be that great of an actress here, but maybe she could be a surprise. Who knows? But yeah, this just does not look all that great at all. So it is a shame because I like the cast involved. But all right, we also got senior year Love Never Fails. Not to be not to be confused with that recent Rebel Wilson film that came out last year, by the way. This is not a secret to that. So yeah, but here's what it's about. CJ and Marcella struggles to protect their relationship against pressure from family, faith, and friends when devastating discovery upends their lives. And the preview for this did not really do much for me. So yeah. Anyway, now also out this week we got a movie called The Reduction of Molly Singer. Hoping to save her job, hard-parting attorney Molly Singer re-enrolls at her old alma mater to befriend her boss's socially awkward son and take him from zero to campus hero. Aided by her friend Molly, goes to battle with stuck-up hall monitors, booze up frat brothers, and an old enemy in a hilarious quest through the past to save her future. It is directed by Andy Palmer, who's directed mostly horror movies. Like he did that Funhouse Massacre with Robert Englund, and he also did that not so great Chad McMurray and Danielle Harris film called Camp Cobra. Both not Funhouse Massacre was pretty good, but Code Camp was not. So I'm interested seeing him do like a comedy film here. And you got some interesting cast members too. You got like Britt Robertson, who I've always liked. Ty Simpkins coming off of the recent Insidious film. Wendy Malick, Jamie Presley, Nico Santos, Holly Rowland, Jonathan Lipnicki. Always nice to see him popping up on screen. Sierra Ramirez from The Fosters fame. The pre for this does not look all that great. Doesn't really look all that funny. I mean, Britt Robertson, it is a shame that she's not much of a higher name star because I would always like Britt Robertson. Whether like whether it's like the Secret Circle or her little part in Scream 4. Of course, she was in what else was she in? Oh yeah, the Longest Ride. It's a shame that she's not really that big name star here because I think she's always really good when she pops up, but yeah, doing movies like this is definitely not gonna help her. But all right. Also out, we got a comic called The Plus One, which stars Michelle Hurd along with Jonathan Bennett, Cedric the Entertainer, Casey Skirbo, and Ashanti, which is always nice to see Ashanti pop up and stuff. It's directed by Eric White, who directed the Bow Wow classic Lottery Ticket, and he's also done like music videos as well. Lizzie only requests for her maid of honor, Marshall, is that he doesn't bring his hated ex Marie to her destination wedding. But lovesick Marshall brings her as a plus one, and Marie does everything in her power to wreck Lizzie's big day. Wow, this is gonna be fun to see. Now, and to be honest, the preview. I mean, I like Ashanti. I like Cedric the Entertainer, but the preview did not really do much for me. I mean, this really feels more like a Hallmark based film too. So yeah, does not look all that great here. So maybe it'll be good. I mean, I've always liked Ashanti, whether it's like her music. I really liked her in John Tucker Must Die that came out like back in 2006. So always nice to see her popping up and stuff. So yeah, but this does not look all that funny at all. So yeah. All right. Now some of the TV stuff we have out this week. Hulu, we got something called Love and Fairhope, which is most likely another love dating show. We got Castlevania Nocturne, which is of course a spin-off or prequel source of the anime Castlevania series, which that could be interesting. See, uh, for some ever reason, we got the Kardashians returning on Hulu, which yeah, an interesting week for Kim Kardashian. She of course has the new episode of American Horror Story Delicate. She's in Paw Patrol the My Movie, and obviously she's back for the Kardashians. So I mean, let's be fair. I hadn't really watched the Kardashians at all, so I'm not really all that interested in it. So, but hey, if you're a fan of the Kardashians, good news. The Kardashians are returning this week. So yeah. Last but not least, we got Gen V, which is of course the boy spinoff where young adult superheroes of Soups are tested in Battle Royale on Battle Royale challenges at a Gilligan University School of Crime Fighting, run by Vault International. You also got Jazz Sinclair, Lizzie Broadway, Manny Phillips, Patrick Schwarzenegger, Sean Patrick Thomas, Jason Ritter, Clancy Brown, with some of the original cast members come back, like Chase Crawford, Soldier Boy, played by Jensen Ackles, supposed to be appearing. So I gotta say, I'm so much pumped for Gen V. I mean, I really quite like the boys, and I don't know how long, like when the new season of the boys will be premiering. But hey, while we wait for other boys to premiere, at least we got this to keep us busy. It looks as fun, and by the way, it has 100% Rotten Tomatoes. Like the reviews for this have looked fantastic, so I can't wait to see this one premieres. So hopefully, it'll end up being great. But that's pretty much it there. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films or series are you interested in? Are you interested in Star X, Paw Patrol the My Movie? Are you even interested in seeing the Kardashians return this week? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Emir sign out.